Welcome to Fifth Scale Durable Racing Network. I'm Big Kevin. Man, what a show we've got for you guys today. Crown Jewel 2020 updates. Mr. Cody Early, what are you going to tell us?
Thanks, Big Kev. Hey, it's Cody Early, the voice of the Crown Jewel Cup Series, and the countdown is on to the 2020 season.
They are giants among us, men of steel, men of might, legends, villains. There are rockets, gassers, and throttle smashers.
The battle for the Crown Jewel Cup Series is on as we've got 22 laps to go. Chris Wall and Brad Bickford are duking it out for that points lead. We talked about it for 2 nights.
Crown Jewel Cup, presented by Torque Graphics 2020. Be there.
The racers are excited and ready to go for the season. So what everybody's been waiting on is the schedule for the 2020 Crown Jewel Cup Series presented by Torque Graphics. The schedule will go as followed and will start in March in Holden, Louisiana. March 13th and 14th, it'll be the Lucas Oil 5th Annual Gator Nationals at Springfield Super Speedway. That will start the 4-race series known as the Crown Jewel Cup Series presented by Torque Graphics. Then we'll make the track to White Pine, Tennessee for the 2nd Annual Worlds at the Walter State Expo Center in White Pine. That'll happen on May 29th and the 30th. Then the series will travel to Greystone, RC Speedway. Greystone will host the 6th Annual Battle in the South. It'll be July 24th and July 25th. And the 2020 2nd Annual Crown Jewel Cup Series presented by Torque Graphics will wrap up its season in Waverly, Ohio with the 3rd Annual Fall Fest at the Barn Raceway the last weekend in September. 25th, 26th, hopefully that will be the dates. We'll keep you posted on any changes. The schedule for the 2020 Crown Jewel Cup Series presented by Torque Graphics is now out there. We know drivers and fans are ready to make their vacation dates, ready to join us. And with that, we bring in the creator and the founder of the Crown Jewel Cup Series, Josh Myers. Josh, the schedule. Josh Myers. Josh, the schedule is out. People have been gritting at this, ready to go and make plans. The 2nd Annual Crown Jewel Cup Series presented by Torque Graphics is now officially on.
It is. It is. It's been something we've been working at ever since we left Waverly this past year. Well, a couple months ago, to get dialed in, and there are people messaging us every day wanting to know, have you got a set schedule yet? What tracks is it going to be? You know, what's going to change? And so we finally got with everybody. Like you mentioned, Brian is the one that we think it'll be the last weekend of September. He's going to get back with me somewhere toward the end of this week and let me know for sure. But all the rest of them are concrete. Everybody can get their vacation, like you said, planned, and we hope everybody can join us, twice as many, and bring a friend as did last year.
Yeah, an average of 90 racers joined us last year each weekend of this series. Of course, the schedule's out there, but the tracks themselves are very unique all year long.
Yeah, we'll start out the series in Springfield Super Speedway with Chris Wall and his bunch down there for the Gator Nationals this year. Honestly, last year I think he had 97 entries, set a record until we got to the Worlds. I look for the Worlds record to be broke this year at the Gators, and he always puts on a top-notch race, and we leave there and we go to the Worlds, which is a collaboration of a group of people that has come together, and we hope to break the world's record again this year. It's just the fifth scale community has grown so much in the past 2 or 3 years, and with everybody coming together and working together and helping the sport grow and traveling all over the country, you know, this I feel like the Crown Jewel Cup is really reaping the benefits of the great racers that the fifth scale has.
The series will then move to Greystone, and then following will conclude in Waverly. On the track subject, we see 4 totally different racetracks all year, from huge tracks to Waverly, Ohio, and the Barn, which last year, you talked about last year. It was awesome. That last race of the night, people were on the fence. It was short track. It was atmosphere. But that's what you get each week with these different style of racetracks.
Yeah. You started out in Louisiana. You started out on a big super speedway. I mean, you let them eat, as they say at that place, and everybody gets to get that cobwebs off over the winter, let them sing, and you go from somewhere as big as Springfield to ending it at somewhere as small as the barn, a little bull ring. You know, last year we had a lot of doubters going into that final race. You know, Josh, why did you pick this place to put all the marbles on the line? And video and evidence showed why we done it. It really lived up to everything that we could have ever asked for, and I had no doubts from the beginning that it would do that. And Brian and them do a phenomenal job at that place. So we for sure we're going to keep the schedule the same this year. We're going back to all four that we went to last year. We think that works really well, and that's where we're going to start out again this year.
Of course, with any series, you want to crown a champion, you do that with points. This year, a little bit of a twist when it comes to the points, and Josh kind of explains how things will change for the Crown Jewel Cup Series this year in the points.
Yes, last year what we done was we took each marquee race and we let their marquee event of the weekend determine our points finishers for that weekend. So like the Gators, it was their race of champions. The Worlds, it was Saturday night's finales. Battle in the South was the overall champion points for the 2 nights, and the barn was the Saturday night finale. Last year we counted 4. You had 4 attempts to get points. This year you have 9. And yes, I said 9. And by saying that, what we're doing this year, each night's race will count for points. And so when we go to the Gator Nationals, your Friday night mains, their format is unique, as in having an odd and an even main split up equally. So your even and odd mains on Friday night get 1st through 8th points. Main A gets 1 through 8. Main B gets 1 through 8. Those will be equal. If you win the first main, you get 100 points. If I win the second main, I get 100 points. Saturday night, same concept. The A mains, 100 points on back. Then the one special thing about Gators that none of the rest of the races will have, the Race of Champions, which is his finale, his marquee event. He determined based on how you finish the weekend who gets in. That will be a bonus point race. And you will get 20 points to win it, 19, 18, 17, 16 to 8th place. And those are non-droppable. You count them no matter what. And so that's a bonus point structure for that race. So you have 3 chances to earn points at the Gator Nationals. When we leave there, we go to the Worlds. It's a simple. Friday night is a points race. Saturday night is a points race. They're separate. They don't intermingle each other. They count as they go, 100 on back. We have 1 main for each class at that race. We go to the Battle in the South. He's got a unique structure, as in he counts both nights combined together to get a points. Throw that out the window for the Crown Jewel Cup. That don't matter. Friday night is points. Saturday night is points at the Battle in the South, just like we did at the Worlds. And the Fall Fest will be the exact same. Like I said, Gators is the only one that has that super unique format for our points to be just a little different, but the other 3 will be the same. Both nights count. So you have 9 opportunities this year to get points. So if you have one bad race, you're not out of it. This past year, if you had a bad night, it hurts you for the majority of the season. This year, and you will drop your worst finish out of those 8. The Race of Champions is a bonus point. It's not droppable because you can't drop that one. The other 8, you have drop your worst finish, and that will be done automatically in the point structure. But you count 7 of your best 7 of your 8, and that's how they'll work this year.
We will work on that as the year goes. So if you kind of have to rewind and watch this, we'll talk you through as the year goes on.
We'll keep you updated.
But he kind of opened the door for the next segment I was going to talk about. We talked about the unique style of racetracks, but each event in the 2020 second annual Crown Jewel Cup Series schedule has its own twist. And that means, this is not us coming to the racetrack and taking over. These tracks have their own unique, amazing events, whether it's the Fall Fest, whether it's the Battle in the South, the Gator Nationals. They all have the shining star of the event. This is adding a little bit of a twist and bringing more drivers to that. And with that being said, Josh, each event has its own unique style.
It does. It really does. And that's something that we pride in bringing our series to, is because each event is basically totally different. Chris Wall sets up a lot like if anybody has been to Eldora and watched the Dream or the World, he basically runs the same style format, and even in odd main both nights to get more racers a chance to race. And then if you win or run second those nights, you get to advance to the Race of Champions on Saturday night. And so what we will say this year that we know for a fact to keep our format to where each racer knows there will be 100 lap A mains in all classes at each event for the marquee race. It may not be just like Chris Walls. His A mains on each night, I haven't discussed with him. They may be 75 or something, but now his Race of Champions will be 100. Friday and Saturday of the Worlds will be 100 lap A mains. Battle in the South, Friday and Saturday night, 100 lap A mains. Brian's may only be Saturday 100 laps, Friday 50 or so. I ain't 100% sure, but our format, we want it to stay the same everywhere we go as far as our number of laps in the feature, so drivers know what they're going to get when they step up on the stand.
And each individual event, each track, as we mentioned, has its own style. And I encourage you, and I say this each time we chat, follow these tracks on social media. They'll update you on as far as if you're coming to stay, information like that as far as where you need to be that weekend and what's available. Each individual track will take care of that on their social media sites. Let's talk about something that was a topic last year and more highlighting on that this year more than ever. Of course, you grow with each year you do a series. You learn something.
You do.
And will the Crown Jewel have tech at each races? What's the story with that?
Yeah, so what will happen is each event the promoter will do whatever tech they want to do for their event, because this is their event that we count points at. But we do have such a following, we've got to have our own structure inside of our point system. So the event promoter will do his tech. After he does his, the Crown Jewel Cup tech official will tech the top 5. Stock class, which was the big kicker last year, and it's going to be again this year. We know just what it prevails, but the stock class will have 3 tech items that the tech official will look at. We will let you know them, and they will be consistent at each race. If the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place finisher is not content with the 3 tech items that we do, he has the option of a protest, and that has to be done within 10 minutes of the checkered flag falling for that main event, not for the end of the night, for that main. And that $100 fee, which is what it'll be to protest, we will go through the whole motor, and our tech official will deem it right or wrong. Okay. I do know at the Gators, I'm about 100% sure the winner of stock class is coming down no matter what. Me and Chris Wall has discussed that. So in that instance, our tech official will be standing with him or whoever his tech official is, and they will just coordinate off of each other, and that'll be a one-tech deal because he's probably going to tear that motor all the way down. But that'll be the same for super classes and stock mods and regular mods. There will be top 5 roll to tech, and our tech official will take care of it from there.
Any changes this year as far as the tech side of things?
Yes, there will be. One thing that the Crown Jewel Cup will utilize at all 4 races, events, is we, on the electronic side, we only run steering gyros only. And now this is not to say you cannot go to the Gator Nationals. Chris Wall allows full AVC. You can go, you can win the Gator Nationals, and you've won the Gator Hide. But when it comes time to tech, if you have full AVC, you get 0 points for the Crown Jewel. That does not diminish your finish for his race. It diminishes your points with us. We only allow steering gyros only. That is the one major change, which most of the other tracks, that's what their rules are too. But we don't want to single anybody out from a particular event. If their track allows X amount, they're still allowed to go run that event. But when it comes time to count the points, you have to go by the Crown Jewel guidelines for your points. So just keep that in mind. Gator Nationals be our first event up. That it will be steering gyro only if you want to get counted for points for the Crown Jewel Cup.
And when it comes to the Crown Jewel Cup Series, rule sanctioning, we have that covered as well. Josh, tell them about that.
Yeah, that our rules for the Crown Jewel is the DLMRA. Mike Ottinger is he comes up with that with a lot of help from all the tracks and the the higher bodies of our sport. They are all get together and put their heads together and help make these DLMRA rules, and that's something Crown Jewel will follow. So if you racers have any questions, it's simple. He has got them posted. 2020 rules are out on ottspeedshop.com. If you have questions pertaining to if you're legal or not for the Crown Jewel Cup side of things, you can just go on that website, and that they're cut and dry what they are, minus the steering gyro. He leaves that at track's discretion, so that was the only reason I wanted to add that piece in. But other than that, we go by DLMRA rules, and that's where that's your one-stop shop for your rule book.
And that's really, you need to focus on that before you hit the road, because if you haven't looked at those and you come to a track, it could be too late.
Yeah, and 2020 has some changes in it. So if you looked at it 2019 and you're good, more than likely you're probably still good. But 2020 has a few changes, and I think he highlighted those in red even if he made the change. So just go on there, double check. Even if you know you're good, it never hurts to double check just to make sure before you drive 8, 10, 15, 20 hours to an event.
Thanks, Cody and Josh, for the updates on the Crown Jewel. And like they said, guys, it's just like old Santa Claus, making a list, checking it twice. Make sure you go through those DLMRA rules and make sure you're up to date and up to par on what's going to be happening in 2020. Guys, I hope that you've got your motel reservations ready to be made. 2020 is going to be here quicker than we can ever know that it will. And, man, I can't wait to get started. And let's all get in there and have some fun, promote the Fishtail hobby, and let's all get ready for the Crown Jewel Cup in 2020. This is old Big Kev, man. Fishtail Racing Network. We'll see you at the
They
track.
are giants among us, men of steel, men of might, legends, villains. There are rockets, gassers, and throttle smashers.
Series is on as we've got 22 laps to go. Chris Wall and Brad Bickford are duking it out for that points lead. We talked about it for 2 nights.
Crown Jewel Cup, presented by Norton Graphics 2020. Be there.